This module introduces you to events, how to properly set them up, and that it's extremely important that you always unsubscribe the event handlers. Before completely understanding how events work, you need to have a good foundational understanding of delegates. While events and delegates look and act the same, one important difference is who owns the invocation. When it comes to a delegate, anyone that has a reference to the delegate can invoke it. With events, this is not the case. Only the publisher, which is the class that owns the event, can be the one invoking it. Not even its subclasses could invoke the event. We started off by introducing the keyword event. This is used together with a delegate. While you can use the event keyword with any delegate, you should conform to the guidelines and use the event handler delegate or the generic event handler delegate. When you introduce the event keyword with your delegate, you are now limited to only adding and subtracting method references from the invocation list. To invoke the event handlers, you must do this from within the publisher. This will let all its subscribers know that the event has occurred. Invoking the event handler should be done through a protected virtual method. This pattern is good to follow because it allows subclasses to extend the functionality of what happens prior to an event being raised. If a subclass does override this behavior, they must call the base class to get that event raised. After introducing the event and invoking it, we discussed how event data can be passed into the event handlers. We saw that one benefit of using a class that inherits from event args is that the event handlers that only corresponds with the non-generic delegate could still subscribe to those events, since they would share the same base class for the event data parameter. You don't have to inherit from event args, but it's good to know why it is useful. Working with events is extremely common, especially in user interface applications. It doesn't matter which type of UI application or what platform. I can guarantee that you will encounter events. Using a UI application, we saw an example of how to run into a little bit of an issue when we forgot to unsubscribe the event handler. While this isn't only a problem for UI applications, it's an easy way to explain and illustrate this potential problem. You must find an appropriate place in your subscriber where to unsubscribe from the events. For UI applications, this is commonly done when the view disappears, and then you can resubscribe when the view appears again. This issue isn't only applicable to events. This relates to all types of delegates. This is also a reason why using lambdas as event handlers is not ideal, because there's no simple way to unsubscribe that lambda. Events and delegates are powerful language features, and I bet that you will most definitely use this throughout your work in C#. We've been talking quite a bit about extensibility, and next we will focus on reusability. More specifically, what if we'd like to extend a class with additional methods, but we don't own that implementation, and we don't really want to subclass it? After it's extended, we'd like to share this extension so that others can also use our additional functionality. This is where extension methods are truly powerful. I hope that you have enjoyed the course so far, continue to the next part where we are going to look at overloading and extension methods.